Go Blue, everyone. Michigan's recruiting is on fire, and we're about to have an exclusive interview with a player who's been there at the front lines of it all, McHale Blade. It's all coming up next on Michigan Wolverines Live. And here we go with another episode of Michigan Wolverines Live. It's such a great week. Tuesday, July 1st, 2025, episode 206. My name's John Diadamo. I'm going to be taking you through the next hour and a half or so. And you can catch us on YouTube, obviously, Twitch, X, but not just that. We sound good on radio, too. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, iHeart. Leave us a rating. Leave us a review. As you join us, go ahead, hit that like button. Just takes a second. Subscribe to Michigan at Voice of College Football so that you know all the stuff that's going on. You can see our videos. You can see our posts as commits happen, which seems to be all the time right now. And share this YouTube link out with a friend. Finally, if you have questions for myself, TJ, or our special guest, McHale Blade, who we're going to be bringing up in a few moments here, go ahead and hit a super chat, and we'll read it on air. And those will get priority, of course. I don't want to waste any more time before bringing on my co-host, TJ Ronin, in the house. Huge week, man. And it just so happened there was a giant 5-star commit, Carter Meadows, when you were out, so I had to try to fill in for you. And I did my best. I have no regrets.
Yeah, man. I mean, what a weekend. I picked a heck of a weekend to go on vacation. We're back. I mean, Michigan is just on a heater. And it's a, what a time to be a Michigan Wolverine, boys. So we had a great show. McHale Blade is going to be joining us. Can't wait to have him on. One of the gems of this defensive line class that is looking to be elite. And it's not even looking to be, it's elite. Obviously the work has to be put in, and Saturdays will show the truth to it all. But on paper, this defensive line class for this 26th cycle is insane. Probably the best defensive line class of any team right now in the recruiting rankings. So excited about it. Look forward to talking with him. And then, of course, we got some updates for everybody and big things, boys. Michigan is cooking right now. So looking forward to the show.
Absolutely. And we do just have 2 super chats to get through real quick. Justin has just become a Connor Stallions espionage team member. Justin said, TJ proved me wrong last year. I said, if we land Andrew Babalola, I would join. Better late than never, TJ, joining our highest tier. Thank you, Justin.
Yeah, I remember, and shout out to you, man. Appreciate it. And glad you're part of the community, brother.
For sure. Glad that you're here. And then Travis Lynn 81, longtime listener, first time listening live. Thank you. With how stacked our D-line class and how unimpressive the linebackers are. I don't know about that, but can anyone transition to play linebacker?
No, I mean, we just got Markel Dabney, and we'll see we'll see what they do with it, right? I mean, I would say it's potentially possible somebody we're not aware of could be on the radar. And I don't know anything. The reason why I say that is because Michigan just kind of appears to be whale hunting right now. So I think it's potentially possible as we get to September, October, November, they decide to try and grab a kid. So we'll see. I think it's early. The linebacker situation is very interesting. I think we're all aware of that. To be determined. It is only July, boys. The signing day is not until December, and so there's a lot of time from now till then.
Absolutely. And so without further ado, we're going to get to our main topic today, which is that Michigan's recruiting rampage continues. Michigan is gaining on Ohio State. Going from in the 30s weeks ago. Now it's a top 10 class. And why not talk to somebody who's been instrumental in helping Michigan get that class? How about 4-star edge rusher McHale Blade joining us on the program right now. How about it?
Let's go.
McHale Blade.
What up?
Go Blue.
What's going on, guys? Go Blue.
Hey, go Blue, brother. Hell yeah, man. So, all right. So, for those who don't know, this is McHale Blade, the 4-star edge rusher. Very excited to get you. And my guy, how you doing, man?
Yes, sir. I'm doing excellent. Shout out to my guy Moose for helping me get on here.
Moose.
That's my dog. That's my dog. But man, I'm feeling great.
Hey, you know who else is Moose's dog is Lou Esposito gave Moose a follow today too. So
yeah, he showed me.
Yeah, and Sharon DM'd him too not too long ago. So he's called 9 right now.
Wow.
But yeah, man. So I guess kind of let us let the community know how how it feels to be a Michigan Wolverine and what it's like experiencing this class explosion right now.
Man, it feels great. Just to be a part of something so special. I know Michigan it breeds excellence, and the class that we're building right now it's only gonna go up from here. And I'm just excited. I'm really blessed to be a part of this.
Yeah, man. I mean, okay, so let's talk about that a little bit, and then we'll get into your journey as well. But you guys have put together a historic defensive line class. Now, again, all on paper, work still got to be put in. But I mean, what is it like to potentially be on the field with these guys together in these games? The game on Saturday, against Ohio State, college football playoffs, but the goal is no question to chase championships. When you envision this, what's that like, man?
Man, it's amazing because I really wanted some dogs, to the left and right of me, and I got that. I got a bunch of brothers I can go to war with. So I'm just excited to keep building.
Absolutely, man. So one more question for me. I'll let John go. But what's Lou Esposito like? For those who don't know, how's our guy Lou?
Man, he's a really great person. And an amazing ball coach. Like he really knows his ball, but man, he's super genuine. And it's just nothing more you could ask for.
Okay, go ahead, John.
That's awesome. Yeah, and so what I always like to understand, like get a grasp on how you got to this point, McHale, right? So what kind of inspired you early on to pick football?
I mean, so it kind of started. I grew up in a football household, even though I kind of started playing kind of late. But my grandfather, he was a coach. He coached some teams in the city. And then my father, he was a big time ball player. And then my brother, another big time ball player, and he's also coaching at Simeon. So he's my coach. So that's pretty cool. And then I grew up in a house full of boys. I got 3 brothers. So we're all we're just football players. Football is always on the TV. So I kind of had no choice but to get into it. And I started growing and I got really big, and they were like, man, you're too big. Like, let's at least try it out. And I just fell in love with it.
Yeah. So you're speaking of your size, your scouting or your prospect profile says 6'5", 245. Is this accurate?
Yes, sir.
All right, my man. All right. So,
wow. Look out.
So then my question to follow up on John is, when did you know you wanted to play college football?
I'd probably say my freshman year, because I started playing on varsity my freshman year. They brought me up for the playoffs, and then just that feeling I had, like, you kind of get that itch, when you're playing, and then it kind of just transitioned over to my sophomore year. I worked super hard, and it kind of just took off like that.
Yeah, heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Okay. So then let me ask you the recruiting process. A lot of people will never ever realize what that goes into, not only for you but your parents as well.
Yeah.
Your support system, coaches, mentors, maybe. What was the recruiting process like for you? Some players really thrive in it. Other players, it's stressful and tiresome. What was it like for you?
I mean, first and foremost, I want to say it was a blessing, just to experience, the things I've experienced. I mean, coaches calling every day. Some days I couldn't even go to class because, they come to school and I wouldn't even be able to attend class because I'd be in meetings with these coaches. And it'd be crazy, taking all these visits, bringing my family. I got my 2 younger brothers, so just seeing them be able to have fun and go on these visits with me, it's amazing. But at the same time, it did get kind of long, especially going through the injury I had. I didn't get to play my junior year, but coaches never stopped calling, and
Mhm.
I had to balance rehab and school and the recruiting process all in kind of one. So it did get a little bit stressful, but um, at the end of the day, I think it made me a better person.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so let's kind of hit on the injury a little bit. So you had the injury your junior year. You can share what that injury is to the people if you want. And what was that journey like? I'm sure mentally tough. What was the journey like, and then how are you doing now, man?
Okay, so I not too many people know this, but I tore my ACL during my sophomore,
Ooh.
and so I played, and I didn't even know it. I didn't realize it until like right before my junior year, because I felt perfectly fine. Like I played a
Yeah.
few on a torn ACL, and I had no clue. I even got it checked out once, and they gave me like a false MRI, and I I had no knowledge that my ACL was torn. So after my sophomore year, the whole off season training and stuff like that, feeling perfectly fine, and it kind of just started swelling up on me a little bit. I started noticing, after every workout or after every practice or whatever, it swelled up a bit. So I went and got it checked out, and they told me it was torn and I couldn't play my junior year. So it kind of just hit me like a truck. It was crazy. I was like, wait, like what? No way! Like I'm getting all these offers, and like everything's going perfect, and I can't even play my junior year. Like what? Like what's gonna happen now?
Yeah.
But life can come at you fast, and
Yeah.
I can't do nothing but just respond the best way I can. And I feel like I've done that. I'm now 100% cleared. I'm back on that field. Um,
Yeah.
I'm actually a lot stronger, faster than I was before the injury. So I'm just really excited to show you guys my senior year.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. And we'll be watching closely about it. Yeah, I mean, it's and I'm sure, as junior year is such a critical year for the whole recruiting process and getting identified. And but it's awesome that Michigan, they identified you and they really recruited you. And can you kind of let the people know what it is like to feel wanted by a school like Michigan, and then two, have them stand by you through through that process of the injury in the junior year and all that?
Man, it's amazing. To have such high expectations.
Yeah,
From such a school so prestigious such as Michigan and other programs alike. Like it's like I'm always gonna say it, like it's truly a blessing. Like I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed, and I'm just so happy. Um, the way that they recruited me and being wanted, that's a really good feeling. But it does get stressful at times because you have so many options. But again, having options is a blessing. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, to that point, you did have a lot of options. You could have, Wisconsin, Purdue. There were lots of options out there. Other than that, too, and you decided to choose Michigan. So, what do you think went into that decision? Like, what kind of helped you decide? You know what, Michigan's the place I want to spend my college career.
Yeah, I was going through my OVs, but honestly, I kind of knew for a little while previously, but I'm taking my OVs, and kind of like in the middle of that process, and my OVs, I took my OV to Michigan. I got back home, and my parents were like, "Dude, we're exhausted," like, and we still had a bunch of other places to go see, but they were like, "Dude, like if you know you're not going to these schools, like why waste time? Like just make that choice now." I prayed on it, and we all made that family decision. We thought on it, and for me, it was like, okay, what schools checks all of my boxes, and Michigan was that school. So that's what went into me choosing here. It checks everything. It's everything that I'm looking for, and it's everything I could ever ask for.
heck yeah, man. All right, so then I love asking kids this question: the day/moment you committed to Michigan. Can you at all articulate what that was like?
Man, I remember, announcing it, and it didn't even feel real because, like, man, like so far I've come. Like from a kid, I kind of even like going up, playing football to this now. Like it was just so surreal, and the way my teammates were screaming, and my family was just, man, crying, and it was just such a surreal moment. And yeah, so I have 2 younger brothers, and they kind of ended up spoiling it for my teammates because they came to the practice. So my announcement was after practice, and they showed up after practice and ran on the field with Michigan gear on, and everybody knew like, oh, Blake's going to Michigan.
Yeah.
But man, it's just, man, that moment I had, my friends and family, it was beautiful, and I'm never gonna forget that.
Yeah, heck yeah. Okay. Well, all right, John. Do you have another question before we get into his huddle tape and we can kind of look at him as a player and everything?
Well, definitely, like, do you have a coach at Michigan that, I mean, obviously we know about Coach Esposito. Esposito's absolutely crushing it right now on the recruiting trail. Obviously he's part of it, but like, who do you have kind of like the closest relationships with at Michigan?
Schools, Coach Moore, Coach Espo, of course, Coach Didi, the assistant D-line coach, the outside backer coach, McPhee, Coach Fee, Pernell McPhee, upside with the edges guys. He'll kind of be like my coach. I mean, everybody there, like the entire staff, I'm really tight with. I kind of know everybody really well, and I get along with everybody. It's really home for me.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So then let's pull up the huddle tape, John, and
absolutely
let's kind of show the community who are not familiar with McHale Blade's game, what he brings to the table. And he definitely, I'll go first, McHale, but I see a player who is versatile, has the ability to get off the line quick. You have a good stance. Look at tape speaks for itself, boys. I mean, you're quick. You got a good first step. I mean, kind of let the community know, what do you like to bring to the game, with your skill set?
I'm a very physical. I get my hands on guys, so linemen. I'm really good at using my hands, as you see here, on my power. But really, now it's time for me to work on my speed and more ball get off. But people don't really know. I kind of didn't really know what I was doing in this film. I was kind of out there
Really?
I was really raw. Like that was probably my 3rd year ever playing football, I want to say. Like I was really I was just kind of out there. Like whatever my coaches told me to do, I would just do it. And like I had what I was doing. Like my technique, like you can probably see my technique wasn't polished just yet. And that's why I'm really excited for my senior year, because although I didn't get to play my junior year, like mentally I am a lot, smarter football player. And now I actually know why I'm doing the things I'm doing. So I'm just really excited to put it all together.
Yeah. Well, you can tell. I mean, you mentioned just a second ago the raw power, the strength, to be able to push through like that. Get past that first line, get to the quarterback, get to who your assignment is, and then go past that. Sometimes, like that's what we like at Michigan, right? That's kind of like the bread and butter, right? But definitely, it sounds like I love the fact that you want to grow. You want to learn new things, new technique, and so do you see? I know Coach Espo, you said, and then is Justin Tress also kind of somebody who you lean on? Because I know that in the past, the strength and conditioning coach is somebody that people mention, in their day to day, kind of for accountability and other things.
Yeah, 100%, 1,000%. He's gonna get me right. Just my overall athletic ability is gonna skyrocket once I get in that, that strength and conditioning, that program, it's gonna definitely improve, me as a player for sure. But man, I haven't watched my film in a while, but just seeing like, you guys, I had no clue what I was doing. Like I was just out there.
Well,
I was so raw. Like, man, I can't wait to get back on that field, because I was just out there just playing freely, and like, look, I'm just out there just running around. So I'm just really to get back to it.
What's funny is, because you mentioned that, and I was thinking to myself, like, we watch a lot of film. Like almost every Thursday we do a call-in show. We're watching film like for 2-3 hours. It's just a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
You pop out though. Your athleticism, your speed, your strength, it still pops. Like, and what's interesting is, you talk about how raw you are, and there's no doubt everyone at this level needs to develop more and get more polished. But Your skills just pop off the film, man. I mean, it's just and I think that's exactly what Michigan saw, and they know what they can develop. And it's going to be exciting. Like you said, you got those mental reps this past season, and it's go time now, man. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about this upcoming season. What is, and this is another question I love asking the athletes of Michigan is, what is your summer schedule? Give me a day, your wake up time, and what is your schedule for like one of your hard training days? What does that look like?
Okay, I'll give you today. It was kind of weird because I didn't have practice. We're off this week, but I woke up early. I woke up about 7ish. You know, I go to a workout, kind of deeper in the city heat. So today we worked on a lot of mobility and stability and things like that. And I have another trainer who I go see in the afternoon, evening type of deal, where we're just lifting hard and stuff like that. But he's also my D-line trainer. And then now after I do this, I'm about to go take an ice bath and just rest and recover. And then tomorrow, I'm about to go with one of my trainers. We're gonna head to the track, you know, run some track and work on some explosive stuff and things like that. Wednesdays, they're kind of more of like not like a rest day, but like a low intensity day. Like it's not gonna kill me, but we're gonna get some running. So, yeah, but really, I'm lifting, I'm getting stronger, but I'm watching a lot of football as well. Like just getting my mind right. I've been watching film on who we got first game, and yeah.
All right, so the people want to know how long you doing the ice baths for, man?
Ice baths, 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes.
Oh, wow. All right. Most people are like doing more than 5, man.
So like that first minute, like once you get past that first minute, like it's pretty easy because your body just kind of goes numb. So, but like no longer than 15 minutes. I usually around 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. Very well then. All right. So what's the goal this off season going into your senior season? What are you trying to work on? What are you trying to get better at?
Like I said, just putting everything that I've learned so far together, you know, my technique and my overall, just, you know, my the football instinct and, you know, everything I've learned and just polishing up, you know, my technique, you know, really just a lot more pass rush as well. You know, I'm about to get after that quarterback because back then sometimes I would like rush the passer on like a run down. Like I promise, man, it's just so funny, you know, going back and watching my own film. Like I was super raw, but now I'm just ready to just put it all out there. You know, all the hard work, all the months, you know, the days where I didn't feel like going to therapy, all those 4 a.m. I had to get up because I had to work out at 5. Like all those hard days. Like I'm ready to just put it all out on the field and just get back to doing what I love, just playing football and having fun. So. Yeah.
Can I say one thing that's impressive about you is that you have this day-to-day schedule that you got to hit, and you still carve out time to go to the recruiting trail and help Michigan pick up some of these players. I mean, talk to us about what like being a recruiter's like, and kind of maybe some of the relationships that you built up that led to some of these recent commits the last week, especially.
I mean, like I said earlier in the show, you know, I gotta have some dogs next to me. So, just being able to build a relationship with guys and, you know, my future teammates, my future brothers, it's amazing. You know, I love it.
Okay, so you don't have to give away anything here. Well, how are we thinking this class is going to end up, man? You don't got to give away anything, but how are we thinking? You know.
I mean, you see where it's trending. I don't got to say too much. We see.
We're cooking.
Yeah, we're cooking right now. We're cooking. I don't got to say too much, but just keep watching. Just keep watching.
Yeah. My man. All right. So, all right, give us your expectations for your senior season and then going into your freshman year. What's the expectations, man?
Man, just becoming more of a complete player and then once I make that jump to college, I will be early enrolling too. So that'll be a big step for me as well. So getting to college and then just continue to growing as a player and sharpen up my skills but I feel like for me, the most important thing for me is just going more as like a person, you know, mentally. Right. I feel like football teaches you so much outside of the sport, which is pretty funny. So, just being better, a better human being.
All right, Michigan man. All right, for sure.
Right, yeah, that's that is a Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan man, right
answer.
There, all around individual working on themselves, right? All right, so All right. So my last question of the moment, McHale, is: can you let the people know what Sharon Moore is like?
Man, he's definitely a player's coach. Like, man, he loves his guys. Like, he puts his team before everything else, and I love that about him. Like, I can already tell just being around him. Like, he definitely puts his team before everything. Like, sometimes coaches they'll put themselves before the team sometimes, and it's like their show, but like no, you're here for the players, and I really respect that.
Definitely. Okay.
Nice.
All right. So do we get some questions? I don't know. I know we didn't mention it to the audience. I forgot to mention this. So if you guys wanted to ask McHale Blaze some questions, you can throw us a super chat. We'll ask him some questions for you guys. I do know Moose said he had a question for McHale. If you want to throw that in the chat, Moose, we'll get it for him.
Absolutely.
John, ask me anything.
I did have one more, which so I know you've been on campus a bit. You know, do you have a couple of go-to spots already in Ann Arbor that you like to kick it, or you know, what have you noticed so far?
You know, I've heard that there's a Portillo's that opened up. You know, I'm a Chicago guy, so I'm a Chicago folks. Y'all know a Portillo's just opened up not too far away from the campus, so I'll definitely be hitting that up. And so I might have to stay away from there though, because they're gonna turn me to a nose.
If moving inside, you keep it up, man. That's funny.
But yeah, I heard Portillo's opened up. There's a bunch of spots that, I mean, taking these OVs, like, man, there was to a point where I was about 260. Like, I was eating so much down there. They were good. So, yeah, but I gotta get in that strength program so I can keep my weight. But yeah, there's a ton of spots in Ann Arbor. So, yeah.
If you need any recommendations, hit us up, and you know we're happy to share. We just went for the spring game, and I got to introduce people to Ashley's and to Brown Jug and some of the spots around Ann Arbor.
Yeah, for sure. I got you guys. Need a spot to go to. I got you.
So let's hit some of these. Yep. So we actually have a few community questions, but first, thank you to Detective Wolverine for joining our highest level of membership. So thanks so much for that. And here comes the first question, or not really a question, but more of we like to call it a GTism. He likes to throw some of these. We have a Blade, a Bear, a Titan, and a Titan coming to Ann Arbor. We might never lose another game. Go Blue. Thanks, GT.
Yes, sir. Go Blue.
Go Blue there. And here comes the first question. So Dougie Fresh, nice. 199. Ask him who. So who did you want the most to commit to the D line?
Shoot, all of them. Like you seen. I know you guys seen that picture. All four of them together. I want all of guys. Like
all right. What'd you think of that picture when you saw those four together?
I was wishing I was in it. Like it was like
I know
where I could have been in. I was like, I wish I been in it. But that's a dope picture. Like remember that, because we're gonna be killing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you guys gonna need to do a whole group photo when you guys get together, man. Like, you guys, I'm serious, man. The community's really amped up about this defensive line class, man.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Michigander sent in a super chat question. McHale, I see you're on Twitter a lot. What's your favorite thing to laugh at about what Buckeye fans say?
Man, I'd be laughing hard. One guy said he told me to flip to Ohio State just to help them recruit.
Yeah.
Like, I got to give it to them. They're pretty creative. They're creative for sure.
Yeah.
No doubt. Tom Bouchard with the 5. We love our defensive ends, McHale. So yeah, big defensive end fans here at Michigan for sure.
Yes, sir.
Nick with the $1.99. He likes to throw some of these out there. Yo, McHale, you ready to go 4-0 against Ohio? Natty.
Yeah, you know it. 4-0, baby.
Yeah, they ain't winning again. It's over.
So, friend of the program, Blue Wolverine, $4.99. What do you feel about the campus itself? I know we kind of touched on it a bit with the favorite spots, but how's the University of Michigan and its amenities overall?
Man, it's amazing. Ann Arbor is truly beautiful. Like, I mean, think about it. You got Detroit like 30 minutes, and then you got Chicago, a quick drive about 3 hours away. But the campus itself is amazing. Like, there's a lot of things to do in Ann Arbor. Surprisingly, like there's a river you can go down. Like there's a bunch of different places you can hit up. I mean, my little brothers, and I have two younger brothers, so the coaches were telling me about like this arcade spot that they can take them, and it's a lot. It's a lot to do. So I'm not bored. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We got a major one here.
So I like to call this guy Wolverine not so casual because he goes hard in the paint. He's everywhere. $100 super chat. McHale is goated. Ethan did a great piece on how instrumental he was to bringing this defensive line class together. As fans, there's a lot of we missed on a recruit because of NIL. What did Michigan do to distinguish itself? I heard a lot about life after football.
Oh yeah, you said it. I mean, life after football, like they have like the biggest alumni base. I think. I mean, it's really why I chose Michigan because, like I said, it checked all of my boxes, and I was thinking for after football, like that block M is very huge, and it'll carry you for the rest of your life. Like just being a Michigan man, like it sets you up for the rest of your life, and not only for you but your family. Like it's an amazing thing to be a part of.
Absolutely. Yeah. The alumni base is just insane, man. So, and plus once you're a player, you're always like family to the university. So that's another obvious positive.
Yeah. A lot of the older players come back. BG came back. Mozzie Smith, I had lunch with him. Like just like a lot of the older players, they come back. So that definitely means a lot for me too. Because if they're coming back, they come back for a reason, which is
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, shout out again to Wolverine Casual, man. What a generous contribution, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, we got beat up here, John.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you ever want to wear a sword during your OV pictures? Dope as hell.
I definitely did. I can't believe, man. So I'm putting together like a sack celebration. So after a sack, I'm gonna like unsheath a sword.
Yeah.
It's gonna go crazy.
Oh my god, that'd be epic, dude. Yeah, that'd be epic.
Yeah. That'd be amazing.
There's got to be an NIL. I mean, I'm not your agent or advisor. There's got to be an NIL opportunity with you. There's got to be like a blade. Like there's got to be some type of like Swiss Army knife. Something.
Yeah,
it's out there. All right. Well, that's so. I think. Oh, there's another one here.
Yeah, we've got another one. DJ Khaled. We got Michigander 1212 with the $1.99. What degree? I mean. Michigander, he may not know. It's okay to not know at this point. But what degree do you plan on taking?
No, I have a few ideas. I have a Michigan kinesiology flag. I was just about to put it up. It's over there, but I'm also thinking about kinesiology or sports management or something. Just after football, I can still be around the game. I love to be like some type of like some strength coach or physical therapy. Just something with football. It'd be amazing.
You know what, man? One thing, and walk your own path. But I'll just say this: if I could do college over again, I wish I would have gotten a strength and conditioning. Because when you're out of school, like when you're out of college, and you're out of playing team sports, you're gonna miss that team mentality, man.
Yeah.
And not only that, being a part of something where you are working towards a goal is like only in the Army and sports, really. I mean, the business world in theory, but reality, not so much.
Yeah.
It's a lot of egos in politics. So I would say consider that, man, because and you'll see, Michigan's got one of the best strength and conditioning staffs in the world. So you'll see, I would argue that's a pretty good path.
Yeah. That's the cool thing is like everybody, you can walk your own path at Michigan. Like I know Carter Meadows is interested in Ross School of Business. And, no matter what you do, you've got the largest alumni network on the planet.
Yeah.
Who's going to be there for you after you do whatever you want to do next. Like you're always going to have that. Like I walk by all the time. I see people with the block M on say go blue.
Yep.
See people that maybe I'm trying to do a deal with a certain company and I see that there's like 15 other people who went to Michigan who I could bond with, right? So it really, no matter what you do, man, you're pretty set. And the Bull, I could see you selling katanas for NIL. So there's an idea.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Growing up, like I was always into like ninjas or like samurai. So that's like right down my alley.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we gotta get it done.
Jalen Hurts. Wow, we have a celebrity in the house, folks. Besides Ohio, what team are you excited to play? That's a good question.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Bama. I think that'd be a fun, hard football game. That'd be a good.
We've kind of owned them lately, man.
Yeah.
We got 2 in 1 year, man.
It's fun to beat Bama.
Yeah, it is fun to beat Bama. All right, what'd you think of that Rose Bowl game with? Did you see the Michigan Rose Bowl with Bama?
I watched it. Like I came home from a workout and turned it on. Man, that was a good game. That was a good game, and for that being one of the last games of the season, they ended on a pretty strong note. So excited going forward.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, winning that natty was pretty good. All right.
Detroit Kyle says, Blade, you spearheaded the movement to make this defensive front. I agree. Appreciate you, brother. Welcome home. Thanks, Detroit Kyle.
Appreciate that, of course.
Wolverine Not So Casual back with the 5 as a recruit. Is it crazy to read rumors about yourself online on these recruiting websites and social media and such? Does it ever get overwhelming? That's a great question.
Yes, that's a good question. I mean, honestly, like I could see why it would get overwhelming for a lot of people, but I mean, for me, I kind of just try to stay focused and did the main thing, which was, getting back to that field and playing football. So I didn't try to look too much into it, but whenever I did see something, I couldn't help but laugh at it because some of the stuff is funny. Like what?
What's that like? Just seeing like all these articles about you and how often are you reading something and it's inaccurate?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes my younger brothers they bring it up to me because they're always searching me up on Google, which is pretty cool. I'm on Google. But yeah, I read some of the stuff. I try not to look into it too often because I don't want to, think on it too much or anything like that. I mean, but really, I don't really see nothing too crazy out there. But some of the stuff that do seem a little silly, I laugh at.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Blue Wolverine gave you looks like a little graphic there. Blade. Look at that.
That is hard.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Question
I know. I was getting to that just now. Absolutely. Now that we're so Moose, another shout out to Moose who helped us make this happen.
Yep.
He is out there in the paint all the time, and to the point where he's getting DMs from all kinds of people, coaches, everybody. Moose says, "Who was your biggest role model growing up?" And we covered this a little bit before, but what if you could expand on kind of your football choice?
Yeah, it was really like I said, being in a football household, it was really my pops and my older brother. I got to see my older brother. He played in college and stuff like that. It wasn't for no super big school. It was like a school in Chicago. I think it's Roosevelt now, but it was Robert Morris when he was there. But he played there. And just seeing him, go through that process, it was really inspiring because I kind of wanted to be like him. And then seeing the NFL players such as Aaron Donald and all the all-time great D linemen, I was like, man, that could be me. And when I started growing and I got to their size, I was like, wait, I can really do this. So yeah,
definitely.
Love.
All right, we got another super chat here.
This is actually another great question from Jalen Hurts. Who's your favorite all-time Michigan player?
Man, Aiden Hutchinson. That's mine.
Yeah, that's such a great answer.
It is. I was thinking about this yesterday. I'm torn between 3, man. Blake Corum, Aiden Hutchinson, and Jabril Peppers. But I'm just torn.
Yeah.
But I just met Brandon Graham, so he's kind of making me too.
Yeah.
Top 2 is them too. They're some dogs, man. Some dogs.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna throw Charles Woodson Seawood in there. We've exchanged some tweets and I love that, and not only what he did as a player, but then to come back, fly the flag around, when he is doing the Fox stuff. He bleeds maize and blue.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. I was just thinking D lineman, but Charles Wilson.
Yeah.
It's a lot of just greatness to come out of this school.
Yeah, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Tom Brady.
Right. That one. Yeah. 7 Super Bowls. No big deal there. Right.
Right.
Yeah, no, there are a lot, but Hutch is a great choice because, you want to model your career after somebody. How about just somebody who absolutely went after it like a madman on the field and took on double coverage, whatever it was. Dougie Fresh is trying to stir the pot a little bit here. Ask McHale about what he thinks about what Jeremiah Smith said.
Wait. I've been seeing some stuff, but I didn't actually read into it. What did he say?
So let's make sure we got the quote correct, John. I don't want to misquote him.
Yeah.
Well, nothing too crazy,
Yeah. So basically, he vowed to not lose to Michigan ever again. So essentially, he said, for the next 2 years, I promise you, I will not lose to them. I can't lose to them in the next 2 years.
We'll see. You see the D lineman we got. I don't know if you're gonna have somebody to throw you the ball, but
yeah, that's the thing, right? Man. Quarterback. Okay, you kind of need a quarterback to be a wide receiver, and there's
yeah, they only got 10 points last year, so we'll see how they do this year.
Wolverine Not So Casual back with another $5. Do recruits communicate with each other a lot? Do y'all meet at camps and get to know each other? Do you know juicy recruiting news ahead of time?
Actually, I do. I kind of have the inside scoop sometimes. I actually knew a lot of the recruits while I was on the visit with Michigan. I bumped into a lot of the recruits on other visits. I know Malik Ali. I seen him at USC. Just a lot of the other guys, especially the edge guys. I bumped into a lot, so I kind of already had that relationship with a lot of those players.
Yeah, and isn't there again, share what you want here, but there's a group chat with all the commits, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Nope. Okay.
That's what
all
I'm
right.
About.
So that is all of our questions. So guys, give McHale Blade some love here, and let's follow him on social media. We got his X account here at McHale Blade, and then we have his Instagram account _D1 Blade. Let's support him and build his accounts here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Let us know in the chat if you've given a follow, and we'll post it on here. If you hit the follow button, we'll say that. But yeah, Ralph says go blue, absolutely. So yeah, definitely shoot him a follow. Wolverine Casual saying thanks for joining us, and I agree with that. You took the time. You didn't have to. You took the time out of your day to come here. Junior says he's been following you already. So been followed. Kinetic's been following you for a while on X. Kinetic, if you have Instagram, hit him up there. And Jalen's trying to get some inside info here. Oh, Jalen. I'll read it, but we can't promise a response, but we can promise it gets read. What's the word on Calvin Russell?
Nah, I seen it. Don't worry about it.
I love it.
Just stay tuned. That's all I'm gonna say.
I love it. That's enough. I mean, that's a great answer. Very cool. All right. Well, it sounds like some folks are following you. Hopefully, we got some more follows, and you are now a friend of the program. You can come back on. Let us know how your journey's going. It's an open invite to come back and share how things are going.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having me.
Hey, go blue, McHale.
Go blue.
Go blue.
All right, my man. Nice.
Wow.
Heck yeah, man. Excellent, dude. Telling you, dude, these Michigan men, they are Michigan men before they even get on campus. I'll tell you, they're just built that way. You can see why the coaching staff identifies these kids, and excited.
For sure. And one more shout out to the man himself, Moose.
Moose.
Absolutely. He just goes hard in the
Dude.
paint every single day on the recruiting.
All right, no bull. Michigan recruiting has been on a heater. Moose has been on a heater lately. He has been getting some interesting engagement, to say the least. He shares with me, and you as well, I believe. But he's been having a good time these last few weeks.
So, to keep going on our topic, I mean, we just heard straight from McHale Blade about what he's been up to, kind of talking to recruits and going through the process. But now we get to the recent commits. Over the last week, Michigan's recruiting rampage continues. And, if we want to kind of look at the list here, because we got a whole bunch here, but let me know who you'd like to kind of start with when it comes to recapping the various commitments Michigan has had.
Yeah, definitely. So we're gonna pull up a list, John, or are we just gonna hit on it?
I am trying to get one that I don't have a thing.
Okay.
There we go.
Well,
I got one.
Okay.
Boom.
Yeah. All right. So I guess we'll talk. All right. Let's just start from the top. Right. We got Carter Meadows, man. John, I was up north. You did the video. I mean, what a get though. I mean, this was, and I mentioned this in the video that I did this. I made one last night just to give my reaction to it. And we uploaded it this morning, but this was my number one target. This was who I felt would I don't want to say the greatest impact, because that might not be so, but he's a difference maker, boys. He's a difference maker. And if Michigan can develop him to his athletic profile, first round talent, no question. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think that, I mean, just what an impact player he could be. His kind of speed to his speed to get to the, like, he will shut down, and I was saying this in the video, he can shut down offensive plays on his own, single-handed. He reminds me of some of the best plays that Aiden Hutchinson Ojabo did in that 2021 season, when they were really heavily featuring the edge rushers. And McDonald needed to do that, right?
Yeah.
But both of them had plays, and when I watched this film, it was giving me flashbacks. He's able to get past his blocker, get to the quarterback, get to the runner. In some cases with lightning speed. He's got incredible, just incredible. He obviously also plays basketball. We know that. And yeah, he's just a very versatile athlete. And shout out Gonzaga in Washington, D.C. So that's why On3 named him a 5-star, and why he's a top 75 prospect in the country.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an excellent major get. And then we also added Andre Clark on Monday. Playmaker. Yeah. I mean, he is a very good compliment to what Michigan is building on this defensive line, man. Like, when you think about what Michigan's building here, which is a rotation of dogs, Lou Esposito had a hashtag. It's hunting season. Like, the boys are about to go hunting. And they're hunting for quarterbacks. They're hunting for that ball. And when you get playmakers on the back end, when your defense is just crashing down on that quarterback, making them panic, making them do errors, whether they're maybe the center starts freaking out. We've seen that. Does anyone remember the Alabama game when the center started? How was Michigan handling the Alabama offensive line? And you saw him messing up. The snap was off. That's what Michigan's building. They're making it so these centers, these quarterbacks are going to make mistakes. And then you're going to have these playmakers on the back end capitalize. And, and we'll talk about it more in the recruiting update, but Michigan is after some serious DBs, and this defensive line's already pretty much in place. There is another one they're going after. We'll see how that one goes. And we'll talk about that in the recording update as well. But, yeah, man. I mean, just another good addition that fits. I can see the blueprint that, the brick by brick blueprint here, and it does fit. And then the other player we got, which you can talk about. We'll talk about here is Julian Walker. This is the compliment to McHale Blade and Carter Meadows and Tariq Bani, Titan Davis, Alistair Vallejo. I mean, this is insane. I think all of us who are aware of the dynamics of this recruitment realize this shouldn't have happened. Typically, you don't stack up on talent like this, for one. For two, his dad is a strength and conditioning coach for South Carolina. He lives in South Carolina. Like,
yeah, that was wild stuff.
Bro, we sold his dad and uncle and his dad works for South Carolina. His dad's quotes, the Ethan McDowell piece that Ethan McDowell's about to get a second shout out this show. But I think Ethan McDowell's an excellent addition on 3, by the way. The piece he made where the dad was talking about the experience that they had, and then his uncle also, they joined, and they essentially said he's been in this business for 20 years, never seen anything like this, blown away. I mean, they were absolutely wowed. And listen, Julian Walker was there was thought that he might not even make a decision before his senior season started. Guys, it was such a no-brainer, and because the way Michigan had the momentum and the way they were pushing, he committed today. You know what I mean? Like, they got him to commit in July, guys. I mean, it's just this is an epic win. This one absolutely insane.
Yeah, I will say, that we thought maybe 2-3 weeks ago, and we're not so sure because, like, of the South Carolina aspect, his dad goes there. But then we were getting intel the last few days that his dad was one of the ones who became sold on Michigan. And that's when I was like, wow, Lou Esposito is absolutely crushing it. Coach Moore, they're doing things on the recruiting trail that now it looks more than ever like the only thing holding Michigan back was the dollars and cents issue. And now that that's cleared up, it's open season.
And we knew that. The fans of Michigan, we knew that Michigan offered everything from development, academics, playing on the biggest stage, playing in the best stadium in football. Damn, we didn't even now I feel like we missed an opportunity. But we'll get McHale on again. But I wish you would ask him, what is he looking forward to playing in the big house, But regardless, Michigan offers everything from present development to long-term connections and relationships. So yeah, now that, Michigan's obviously in a great position, which we'll talk about a little more when we get into the recruiting update with the donors and everything. Yeah, man, we're a problem. And we continues here with Malachi Lee, who committed on Friday, who you did a watch party, John.
Mm-hmm.
Very successful watch party, by the way. And, but yeah, I mean, it's okay. Well, here you go. Here's Michigan's number 1 target on the offensive line. Just so you guys know, they view Malachi Lee on the same level as Ty Haywood, who was a 5-star. That's how Michigan views Malachi Lee. That is why he was such a priority. They got him. Major get. And then we added McHale Blade. Or I'm sorry, not McHale Blade, Markel Dabney.
Right.
Markel Dabney, who I've not made a video on yet, is he's the weak side linebacker, Will. Very good in coverage. Like, he has a trait a lot of linebackers don't have, and that's the ability to cover on passing downs. And I believe that's the versatility, that they really appreciate out of Markel Dabney, and they got him. It was first come, first serve between Dabney and Goodwin, or Kenneth Goodwin. And Kenneth Goodwin, by the way, is going to be announcing, I think, in 3 minutes, likely committing to SMU, but we'll see. I guess we'll find out in about 3 minutes, but those things are delayed too. So we'll see.
Yeah. And Dabney, I just think that's an example of Michigan not just playing defense, they're playing offense. They are talking to, they're trying to get these flips from other schools. And so I think it's really impressive there. I did want to just touch real quick. Thank you, Dominic, for the 10. Go blue, no hammer coming. Absolutely. Thank you for the 10 there, Dominic. And yeah, no, it's just, and it continues. And Michigan's class has gone from, like I said, the 30s to, depending on the outlet, depending on what you're looking at, this one is at 9. So I've seen 8, 9,
Yes.
but top 10 is super legit.
Yeah, well, go to, if you can, John, go to the rankings of all the teams. It's just one page back. And because after this weekend where we have July 4th, and I guess we'll get into the recruiting update, but
hold on.
Yeah, you're good. But yeah, I mean, so like after this weekend, I feel we're either going to be 6th or on the verge of passing Ohio State, who is 5th, is what I think is going to happen. There's some commitments, or actually I have it on my phone here. Let me pull it up. There's some dates here that we need to be aware of, which I have for everybody. What'd you do? Did you lose the screen, John?
Yeah, I'm just trying to pull it up. Hold on.
All right, so all right, so let's just kind of, I guess, you want to get into the recruiting update after you show this, or?
Yeah, for sure. So here's the overall rankings. So Michigan is catapulted.
Yeah.
Looks like
currently
up to, or actually, sorry, that's 2025. And here we go. 2026, Michigan is at 9.
Now look at the teams in front of them. Now they're only up 2 points, right? 256, go up.
Yeah, this is really close. All the way up to Miami.
And just 2 points, boys. We're 6th. Now, I think after this weekend, because here's who's committing, right? So Donovan Webb's making an announcement tomorrow. That's looking Texas Tech. And then I guess we can just get in the recruiting update, John.
Yeah, let's just get into the recruiting update.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So Donovan Webb is committing tomorrow, guys. It's looking Texas Tech, but it's okay because Michigan is after bigger fish. And, we just had McHale Blade on. Stay tuned. Because Michigan is swinging for the fences on a few of these players. We're going to get into it. The player to know that they're looking at is Devon Benjamin, one of the top cornerbacks in the nation. I believe On3 has him ranked as the number 1 cornerback in the nation. 247 is not as high. They have him as the 35th overall player in the nation. But still, regardless, this is a big time player, boys. And listen, NIL wise, Michigan's offer is killing Oregon's. Okay, that's the word. So the NIL offer for Devon Benjamin is very aggressive, to say the least. So this is why, if people want to know, well, why is the Donovan, which, by the way, I'm a fan of Donovan Webb. Donovan Webb would have been an excellent nickelback for this class, but there's only so many spots in the class, right? So Michigan decided that they wanted Devon Benjamin, and we'll talk about it way more on Thursday's recruiting update. We'll play some huddle film and all that stuff, but something to watch, boys. And that's something that we need to be, I would say it's worth your time and attention to pay attention to that recruitment. And then we have John Turntine and Travis Johnson are going to be deciding on Friday. John Turntine, I don't feel confident Michigan's going to land him. I feel he's going to be heading to likely Texas. Now that's an assumption. I don't know.
Matt Miller seems very excited. He wants to get me on the 4th of July show so that he can gloat, I think.
Yeah, the buzz appears to be a little Texas, although all teams apparently feel like they have a shot. Oh, it doesn't matter, because July 4th, Travis Johnson is going to be announcing his commitment at noon. At noon, boys. Travis Johnson, the 6'3" playmaking wide receiver who was one of my personal crushes of the cycle. Yeah, I'm feeling extremely good about this. Okay, I'm thinking Michigan is a lock here. So there's that. That's going to up us in the rankings. He's like ranked in, where's Travis Johnson ranked, John? He's like, let's look it up real quick. Travis Johnson is ranked 144 in the nation. Sure, that'll help us in the rankings. That alone will put us ahead of those other clowns. And then we have July 5th. Calvin Russell, boys.
Oh,
Calvin
snap.
Russell's, ladies and gentlemen.
And McHale Blade was like, stay tuned. Yeah.
Lay low, stay low. Listen, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about Calvin Russell. I'll just say that, and I'll leave that there for now.
Yeah, we're just.
Then we
yeah,
got
we're
Dorian Barney, cornerback Dorian Barney, big time playmaker Dorian Barney.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, July 5th. Guess what? I'm thinking, we get Dorian Barney. Okay. So Dorian Barney, Travis Johnson. I'm feeling good about Calvin Russell. And then we have, let's see. So Dorian Barney's ranked 148, another top 150 player in the nation. Okay. And then we have obviously Savion Hyder, right?
Savion Hyder
looking to commit. And this is one of the big fish. So we had the big three, right? So we've been kind of labeling Carter Meadows, Calvin Russell, Savion Hyder as the big three. Well, the reality is it's now the big four because Davion Benjamin is a part of that. Yeah, it's looking good for Savion Hyder, guys. It's looking good for Savion Hyder. So again, like Michigan is just on an insane heater right now. But he's not, again, July or August. I have heard that it's possible Michigan tries to push it, but I don't think they're going to push that decision date. We'll see where it goes. Tennessee's still in that one. But yeah, I mean, that's just kind of where we are there. And then another one that we'll talk about that's a big time player too is Deuce Gerald. So I will be honest here. I have absolutely zero insight on this recruitment other than so Deuce Gerald's Michigan is apparently going for it. I'll be honest. This is where, and you don't hear this from me often. I'm a little skeptical here. Now if Michigan can pull this off, Jesus.
Yeah, I don't.
That
would be wild.
Deuce Gerald, and not only that, we'd be taking him from Ohio State.
Another one after. Yeah. We've already with Carter Meadows. They were salty about that one with a capital T.
Deuce Gerald's, and here, let me just do a share screen here. Hold on. So this way, I want to kind of let the people kind of get familiar with these recruits a little bit because we're kind of talking about without showing any visuals. Deuce Gerald's, one moment, is right here. 73 ranked player in the nation. Apparently, Michigan's pushing here. Apparently. Now, I think we have a very big class here. Now I know B-Dub, our boy, is a big Ben Boulware fan. I'm also a fan of Ben Boulware. So it appears to me like it's either going to be Deuce Gerald's or Ben Boulware who finish out this class. If it's Deuce Gerald's,
dunking
Henny,
on Ohio.
Hydrate with Henny. Juju, where you at? We're all hydrating with Henny then because that'd be insane. That wouldn't. I mean, that's just. It's almost not fair. It's almost like we're playing Madden on rookie.
It's almost like we're Alabama circa 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's almost is. And then someone made a comment, geez, we're beating Oregon in NIL. We are beating Oregon in NIL. We are. Did anyone see Dusty May's recent comments? Dusty May had an interview with a podcast, and he goes, we are essentially the Yankees and the Dodgers of the NIL game. For those who don't know, the Yankees and the Dodgers, and I'm sure many do know, but yeah, they're a effing problem. Obviously, they run baseball for the most part. So yeah, I mean, when your own coach like Dusty May says that, and what we do know is the football team gets more resource funding than the basketball team. Yeah. Is Deuce Gerald's committing July 5th? I am unaware of. Let me see if I got it. I don't have it. If he is, let me know. I don't have that information on me. But yeah, and then we got Dorian Barney, and then that's kind of where we are. I don't think I've missed anybody. But yeah, look, what's crazy is we're in July and this class is it's almost full. Like it could be full by the end of July. It could be very close to full. Now, I'm sure. Now I have heard that Michigan is kind of looking at other rosters and seeing if there's anybody they're interested in. We'll see on that. That I think teams do that anyways. I think teams look at other rosters and see if there's any kids that they feel would finalize. Because what Michigan will do is if they do get to a point where the class is around 25 by end of July, early August, what they're going to do is they're going to reassess the class and they're going to look at, okay, where can we try and improve it? And they'll put some feelers out there to either agents or whatever. And then they'll go from there. I mean, I'll say this, I would not I do not think Michigan would close the class up. Let's say they get to like 26 or something by the end of August. I have a feeling October, November, December, there's going to be like 2 to 3 kids where Michigan's going to swing for the fence on. It just appears to be like that right now. Also, another thing too to hit on, and I know this is behind a paywall, what I'm about to share here, but I mentioned it earlier in my video, and I don't think Chris Ballas would mind. So shout out to Chris Ballas because he's the one who shared this. He made a post that said, "God bless the Ellisons. It's going to be a good summer." So, again, shout out to the Ellisons, shout out to Queen Jolynn, shout out to the donors, shout out to Sean McGee, shout out to the Lester family, the other donors. There are other donors that are not named. And hell yeah, man, because the Michigan is on an absolute heater. And the most beautiful thing about it, boys, is it's not done. It's not done. There's more to come. And it's about to be nuts because really Michigan can get almost whoever they want. That's just kind of where we are now, which is a beautiful thing to, as a fan, be a part of.
Yeah, it's I mean, I'm glad that the Ellisons are continuing with their contributions in NIL. I mean, definitely started last year and nailing the number 1 recruit overall in the nation, highest on 3 rating with the 100 rating was the highest ever. And now they're and obviously Haywood and Babalola and all of them. And now we're following it up with what they're doing this year, and I swear it's next level. Now you do see, I will say that Coach Espo, so Lou is really Coach Esposito has really set himself, I think, apart from the pack, but it's not like the others are slouches. I mean, even Ron Bellamy just landed wide receiver, so like everybody's doing pretty well, but Coach Esposito is just on a whole nother level right now with what he's able to do. Do you think that there's like something in particular that's like the secret sauce of like why he's doing so well?
Yeah.
Or
yes, I mean, okay. So I mean, to John's point, and like there's somebody watching this being like, "Well, it's NIL, dummy," but it's not, because here's why. It matters, but the reason why it's not just that is because the reality is every coach does not recruit like Lou Esposito.
Right. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But there's somebody who's saying NIL, but it's all right. The reality is this: Lou Esposito is a people person.
Yeah.
Not only that, he has a track record of development all the way back to Ferris State. He developed Brandon Frisk, who went in the 2nd round from Ferris State. He's had guys from Ferris State, Western Michigan, transfer to other programs and get drafted very highly. He's a very good developmental coach, very good person. You know what he is?
What's that?
He's the type of guy you could have a beer with and watch a football game with. You know what I mean? Like, he's just another guy. He's not anybody he's not. And like, it's the authenticity, I think, that sells Lou Esposito. It's authenticity coupled with development. Just a good IQ for defensive line coaching. And in Michigan, Sharon Moore did a great job identifying him and bringing him to the program. He's killing it. And yeah, I mean, it's, and then when you add an individual like Lou Esposito with NIL funding, the resources to get these elite talents, because guys, other schools have NIL resources, but you have to be able to close and build relationships. So that's where, so this is where relationships matter, right? So when you have schools who have NIL, like right now, we're going against Oregon for Davon Benjamin. So, okay, you have 2 schools with NIL resources. Now, one school, which is us, is offering more, but at the same time, Lamar Morgan's a dog. Lamar Morgan's, if not our best recruiter, our 2nd best recruiter. He's also an authentic people person that really just gels with these younger kids. So, and then we got Ron Bellamy, who's about to make Isaiah or Elijah write him a letter. John and Elijah are writing letters and mailing them to Ron Bellamy here in about 1 week. So,
I'm waiting until I see it on the field.
Fair. I mean, it's fair. I mean, I know some people who feel that way too.
Recruiting is one thing, and I will give him his flowers on recruiting if everybody comes in that we're looking to nail, but the field is another matter, and I need to see improvement in the dynamics of the pass. I need to see improvement in because it's not just on the quarterback, and this is what I'm trying to help people understand. That if you look beyond the obvious no duh, of course the quarterback play wasn't very good last year. Everybody knows that. But like, you go back to 23, you go back to 22. I want to see improvement from those years, from players who aren't named, Roman Wilson, who aren't named Ronnie Bell. And see it more across the board systematically. And then I'm gonna say, Ron Bellamy, take a bow. You deserve it. Like, I'll give him his flowers at that point.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, that's fair. I think it's fair, but I will say, I think he's going to do it. I do. I just have confidence that they're going to do it with the way this whatever. But all right, so we'll see. To be determined on him. But so this is Davon Benjamin, for those who are not unfamiliar with him. So this is a player we're going to be keeping close eyes on. I do want to answer Wolverine Casual's question. Do you feel more confident about Russell or Hyder? What odds would you give whoever you are less confident? Guess what? I feel exactly the same about both. And I'm confident about both. Okay. So there's my answer on that. I'm very confident on both of those. And then another person asked, shoot, where's that question at? Oh, okay. Someone mentioned the Lou Esposito tweet and let's share that. So I'll share that here. Let me pull it up, John. This tweet here where Lou Esposito is talking that talk, feeling confident. It is right here. So Lou Esposito goes, surround yourself with 5 hunters and you will become the 6th hunter. It's hunting season. So there are some people who speculate that he's talking about Deuce Gerald's. The 6th hunter is Deuce Gerald's. We'll see. But look at it. How funny is that Lou Esposito posted this picture, bro?
It's beautiful.
How effing funny is that, bro? Yeah, so we'll see, man. I don't know. The Deuce Gerald's one's interesting because I'll tell you this. I've gotten nothing on my end about Deuce Gerald's, and that doesn't mean anything either because I don't get everything about everybody, but I don't know. I think it's nuts. Because if we get Deuce Gerald's, like the Julian Walker thing was like unreal. Deuce Gerald's would be like, I feel like we have a cheat code, like it's just, that's not, that you might be right, John. We might be Alabama circa like 2010.
Well, especially on the line, on the D line.
But it's not though. But it's not because Savion Hyder's number 1 running back. Our quarterback's number 1 quarterback. Our wide receiver, Calvin Russell plus Travis Johnson and Zion Robinson.
When Hyder commits, then I'm gonna say running backs also like Alabama 20. Once that happens,
I guess the only thing you could argue is linebacker.
Yeah.
Because the DB class last year was flipping elite.
Yep.
And it's going to be very good this year, too, if they pull these guys. If they get Dorian Barney and Davon Benjamin. If they get them, like, this class could end up being the best class ever in Michigan. Now, I know, actually, but all right, now someone's going to check me because I know we have the number 1 class one year. But we'll see. It's gonna be up there. This is gonna be a legendary historic class. If things fall
here's what is true. This is probably the best condensed recruiting run in at least 5-6 years.
It's the best June we've ever had. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I think we've had 12 or 13 in June.
It's a really good June.
It's amazing. And what's funny, what's funny is literally a month and a half ago, people were really worried.
Yeah.
So here's the hoping, but it does. I know we're fans and we do live and die with this team. We get emotional. Here's the hoping we show a little patience on things in the future for Michigan. Because it does appear. Listen, we are in an excellent position as a program, and I'll tell you this right now: within 3 years, we're winning an Natty. We're winning an Natty, dude. In my opinion, I'd put money on it.
That's what it looks like. That's the pieces are coming together. It's a question of how quickly, and it's a question of who's going to be in the starting positions. But
all right,
But
So that's I thought about it.
Under Bryce, I could see it.
So I thought about it, and here's what I think. I think this year, I think we can get to 10 wins. I do have us at 9, but I think we can get to 10. I think we can get to the playoffs.
Mark Rogers said 10 wins too.
I saw that. Yep, he put out his prediction video. But I think not this year, but next year, we're going to make a run in the playoffs. And I think if we don't get it that year, that following year, Michigan's going to go all in, portal, everything. We're getting we're going to get a natty. That third year, Bryce Underwood's going to get a natty. If he doesn't get it his second year, is what I believe. And I know someone might be saying, "Oh, that's a cute story, nice fairy tale." It's not though, because Michigan's not wasting Bryce Underwood, and you can see this. You know, they're going for a natty. They understand that you only have certain windows, and yes, we do have Brady Smeagol, so our window will, be larger, especially if we get Donald Taborn, or Tabron, I believe is his name. I'm trying to pronounce his last name correctly. I think it's Tabron, but and then if you get him in 2028 class, yeah, I mean, and they probably will too, the way this thing's going. So I don't know, man. A lot to be excited about, John.
It really, really is. And I didn't get the chance to answer this one, but I will say, I mean, I'm extremely confident about them both. I know that that's a cop-out answer, but there's not one that I mean, I'm very confident about both. So that's all I can really. That's all. We don't
John,
want to divulge everything, but we're
I'll say this, but we won't say a name specifically. John, I sent you a text like a week and a half ago, right? Remember about one of these guys?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's a reason why we feel how we feel.
Yeah. But thank you for Wolverine Casual for the contribution there.
Absolutely, man.
All right. So let's get to a couple of quick asks, which I didn't have a chance to get to earlier. But we do want to just remind everybody that you can sponsor this channel or any channel on the Voice of College Football by hitting us up at sponsorships@vocfb.com or DMing either of us. And if there's interest, if you have a business, a product, a service, or a personal brand, you can sponsor any of these channels. And we'll talk to you about ways that we can benefit you as we've benefited others like Win Agency, who's been a great partner. And we did the March Madness Challenge with them. We did the season with them, and they reported some great results from their sponsorship. So definitely email us there. And the VOCFB website, which I know TJ's been working on, and we've gotten some great contributions from that. Well, the website is up if you haven't seen it yet. There's more stuff coming. The Florida State Seminoles Live article and Penn State Live literally launched today, those two articles. So definitely check them out. Michigan recruiting. There's a lot here. So you can get the daily schedule as well and see what's coming up next on our network and learn some stuff.
Yeah, and we have a team of writers. We have another team. Actually, we just did another hiring wave of writers, so we'll get even more articles on there. Looking forward to it. It's exciting, man. A lot of good things happen with the Voice of College Football.
Absolutely. All right. Why don't we hit the last topic, which we kind of alluded to already, which was that Jeremiah Smith, Ohio State wide receiver, he said that I'm not a sore loser, but I hate losing, and losing to that team up north was pretty crazy because, of course, they don't say Michigan. They're scared of saying Michigan. In the end, I think it really helped us play the way we did in the playoffs. But I didn't want to go to Ohio State and lose to that team up north. I just hate them. For the next 2 years, I promise you, I will not lose to them. I can't lose to them in the next 2 years. Well,
I heard that
you need
before.
a quarterback, buddy. You need a quarterback. Yeah, I've been hearing that for the last 4 years. It's going to be next year. We're going to hang 100. It's going to be next year.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, listen, the game's always a great game. It's not like they suck. They don't suck. They're a good team. They're a worthy opponent. But I like our odds next November, Saturday in Ann Arbor. I like our odds, man. So I don't think he's getting it next year. And I'm going to tell you right now, if they don't get it this coming year, I don't think the following year is going to be even easier, because I think Michigan's going to be even more dangerous, more developed. All this talent's going to be a year older. This is why the Buckeyes are freaking out, by the way. So let's kind of hit on this. This is related. This correlates. Has anyone seen the Buckeyes and Sparties freaking out over this recruiting run? Because I have. I've actually spent some time dabbling in some message boards on some of these Ohio States and Sparties, just enjoying the show. They are hoping the NCAA save. It's all they talk about. It's all they talk about. Because they're like, well, this Matt Weiss thing that just came out with the Harbaugh, Harbaugh, he knew. Oh, he's, dude, they are. It's, and I texted, I won't say any names. I texted an individual who's in the Ohio State circles. And I said to him, what is wrong with your fan base where they're acting like babies about their recruiting class because they lost Carter Meadows? Like, they are acting like babies, bro. Like spoiled ass brats who have a top 5 recruiting class with good talent in that class. And they want to fire the effing AD just like they wanted to fire Ryan Day after he lost the. It is the softest fan base.
Yeah. Let's fire Larry Johnson, literally one of the most tenured coaches at Ohio State. And from what I understand from Buckeyes, reasonable Buckeyes who I trust, he helped the offense last year, tweak the offense, more physicality, so that they could win the national title. So you're saying people are actually saying this. I've seen it. I pointed it out on X that, let's fire Larry Johnson now. Because you lost one guy to Michigan, Carter Meadows.
Well,
I mean, I know that it's not but that's what caused the firestorm.
I'll say this,
I don't know.
Well, no, I mean, look, I can actually sympathize with the Buckeyes a little bit here, and I might want Larry Johnson. Might be time to move on. He's like 73. And it's not just Carter Meadows they lost on. We all watched the public embarrassment of when they lost Luke Wafel, which was hilarious.
Right.
Because I'm a fan. As anyone who watches our show knows, I'm a fan of Luke Wafel. Yeah, man. I mean, I can understand why they'd like to move on from Larry Johnson, but you want to fire your AD who you got from Texas A&M. You guys are all excited
that's
about.
Wild.
And then not only that, like, you guys gave death threats to your national championship head coach because you guys are the softest fucking bitches in the game, bro. Like, these Buckeyes are sad. And I'll tell you this too. I'll just, I'm on one right now.
Yeah, go for it.
They don't even understand football. Most of these Buckeyes, they just expect winning. They don't understand what goes into winning or how to develop a team, or it is such a surface level fan base. I was going to say something else, but I'll be respectful. It is just a surface level fan base. They don't understand. Now, not all, now every Buckeye does not fit in that bucket, but a majority of these Buckeyes are surface level, clueless fans who do not understand football. They just watch the team on Saturday, and because the score's higher on one end than the other, we win, good, but they don't know shit about football, bro. And it's funny to watch. And we as Michigan fans have to deal with this bullshit behavior because they are a rival. So we get in these debates that are essentially running in circles with these clowns, but whatever. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Michigan's has a 4-win streak, and it's looking to be 5, John. And it doesn't appear to be slowing down either.
Yeah, absolutely. And MGO Blue, it looks like he's following this and is asking kind of specifically about the linebackers. And so how is linebacker recruiting going this cycle, and what's their strategy? So asking about BJM, Brian Jean Marie, and what's going on there.
Mark Dabney. That's it. That's the list. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, man, I'll tell you, it's out of all the position groups, it's the least energized. I don't know. I mean, part of me just thinks that Michigan has got to have some type of plan here. They cannot just be, because Nick Abrams is likely not going to Michigan. I'm a big fan of Nick Abrams. If we got Nick Abrams, all right, that's cool. Like, I like that. That's a good get. Likely not heading to Michigan. Kenneth Goodwin, I'm sure. What is he committed to SMU yet? Has anyone seen this? They play the same position. McHale and Kenneth Goodwin play the same position. Here, let's see if he committed yet. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't know what's going on with the Kenneth Goodwin, but he's not coming to Michigan from my understanding. So, yeah, I don't know. Apparently, Juju's turned a corner on Brian John Marie. I can only imagine what that is. I'm sure we'll hear about it Thursday. But yeah, I don't know, man. Linebacker recruiting, I feel like they have to have a card up their sleeve. I feel like they cannot. I'll say this: if this cycle is not a strong cycle, I fully expect next cycle to be one of the position groups Michigan goes all in on, just like they are right now with defensive line and wide receiver.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting because, and this is what we were alluding to earlier when we were kind of singing the praises of Lou Esposito, is that, each coach, it's not like, yes, Michigan's NIL and what Sean McGee has done and all of these things vastly improved. There's no question, but it still comes down to relationship building as well. Like, NIL can help close a deal, right? If someone else is saying, hey, we'll pay this player $600K, it takes more than relationship building to say, hey, come to this other place. You still got to match it. You still got to maybe go a little higher or match whatever the other offer is, whatever the case may be. But there's still a relationship building aspect. It's still about, the fact that Sharon Moore has personally insert himself into the recruiting trail in different ways, and keeps sometimes day-to-day contact with some of these recruits, like getting the head coach involved in some of these, like it really is like that relationship building. So I don't know why BJM, kind of what's going on there, but Moose is saying it might be time to move on. I'm not going to say that on here, but I do think it's the hot seats. The spotlight's on him.
Listen, the linebacker play improved last year. He did close out with Nathan Wasu Boateng. Here's what I say about this.
Yeah.
Brian John Marie till signing day.
Yeah.
Because Michigan's going to have a lot of time on their hands if this class is finished by August. I have a feeling maybe a donor is going to be looking at this class being like, you know what? Here's $1 million for the linebacker position. Figure it out. It seems like potentially. So I don't know. We'll see. Now that is an assumption on my end, but I think we can all see that the linebacker position is not quite living up to the other positions. But I also now that I'm feeling a little bad, because Markel Dabney, I don't, shout out to him, man. But I think we would all agree that but not even just who's committed. It's what are the targets? The targets have been not in abundance. There hasn't been a lot of high end targets or at least high end serious targets. I don't know. It's interesting. It's something we're just going to have to watch and observe as the cycle progresses.
Go Blue. I'm not off Bellamy yet, and Bellamy's still getting some scrutiny from me till I see it on the field.
I'm about to be on Team Bellamy, bro.
I get it.
By next Tuesday, TJ is about to be pro Ron Bellamy.
All right. Wow. All right. Ron Bellamy appreciation fan club coming at you. I do want to thank Defending the Natty for being a member for 7 months. Thank you, Defending the Natty. We actually just got some new members on this program, including some new Connor Stallions members. If you want to join them, you can by going to the link that I just posted in chat and looking at the 3 tiers and deciding which tier is best for you. If you want access to our members only streams, that'll be the $4.99 and up. So check it out. No matter what, you're getting the emojis, you're getting the badge, and you're supporting us. And then $4.99 and up is where you get access to the members only streams.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah. And I've also noticed there's been individuals who've been renewing their memberships like on off days. Like I think it might have been, I could be wrong. I think Detroit Kyle just renewed his membership, and there's been
thank you.
some others too. Shout out to you guys, everyone who's been, even though we don't have a show, so you're not getting the acknowledgement as some of the others, but thank you guys for being a part of the community. It's already starting to ramp up. We were in the off season, we're still in the off season, but it seems to be people are fiending for some football. And I mean, our numbers tonight, we had like almost 450 people watching on YouTube. On X, we had over almost 400 on there as well. So shout out to everybody. Appreciate everybody watching the show. It means a lot to us. And we're about to have a hell of off season going into a hell of a season. So, stay tuned because there's a lot more to come.
Absolutely. Yeah. Shout out to Michael Jacobson for rejoining the Those Who Stay. And yeah, Detroit Kyle's back as a Connor Stallions member. Jason Waters rejoined Leaders and Best tier. Phaedro 23 rejoined the Connor Stallions tier. So touchdowns and tokes, Art Thompson. So yeah, people are rejoining every day practically.
I know. I've noticed that, and I'm like, all right, this is cool. So, shout out to you guys. We appreciate that.
For sure. And with that said, let's chat about what's coming up next, TJ. So you've got your call-in show Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So you and Johnny will be chopping it up.
Yeah, so we got the Thursday call-in show the day before 4th of July, the day before the fireworks, you could say. 2 days of fireworks, potentially. So, yeah, let's be on the lookout for that. We'll have a good time. I'm sure the call-in last Thursday was a heater. Thursday before that was a heater. We've had some good shows, man. So, yeah, another one Thursday. Call in. Let's talk some ball.
Can't wait to support. And who knows? Maybe I'll call in. You never know. But with that...
Hey, John, just show up. Just you know where the address is. Just knock on the door and come in.
Yeah, absolutely. But you guys do a great job. So you
don't need to call in, bro. Just show up. Walk in the house, man. Grab a beer.
Grab a beer. Yeah. So of course, please make sure you follow the guest that we had obviously today. If you haven't already, McHale Blade. Normally we say follow us. Today we want to start by asking everyone to follow on X and IG. Let us know if you've done it, and we'll post it on air. At X McHale Blade, IG _D1 Blade. Check him out. He took time out of his day. TJ asked him. You asked him about how is what does a day look like for you? He's juggling that. He's juggling recruiting guys into Michigan, and then coming on to Michigan Wolverines live.
I know. He's busy, and he made time for us in the community. So let's show him some love. That's the thing too. When we have players come on here, guys, let's support them. Let's show them our appreciation, because, by doing that, that'll help them. They'll want to come on more. Although I think I will say this: every interview we've had so far, I feel like we've had a really good, energy in the interviews, and everyone seems to be very, everything seems to be mutual, and everyone said they'd be more than happy to come back on. So just keep building those relationships, and maybe we'll get some in-game interviews, maybe some post-game. I don't know. We'll see what we can work out, though. But it's good building these relationships with these young men.
There's no doubt. It's a joy. I love when we get to interview somebody like this, because they're all Michigan men in terms of their attitudes. Like every single interview that I've been a part of anyway, and I think you too, TJ. It's not just the ability on the field. It's the way that they carry themselves off the field. It's the work ethic. It's the like, even when we were reviewing the film today, he was like criticizing it. He was like, I want to do this better, that better. I was like, hell yeah. Like, that's awesome.
I was kind of like, I was so surprised that he was so critical of himself on air in public like that. Like, I was like, oh wow, this is pretty neat. This is pretty neat to see him looking at this film and not happy with it. And I'll be honest, like, I'm watching this film like, oh, this kid pops. Like, I can see why the coaching staff likes him, but he's like, no, this isn't good enough, So yeah. I mean, that's like one of the things I love about these interviews, John, is I love getting to know their what is their schedule in terms of their routine in the off season, and then what is it like to commit to Michigan and get these, because these are things that a lot of us cannot even fathom. So to get these backstories and on everything, I find it very interesting.
Absolutely. And Moose, shout out to you for helping out there,
Yeah.
and everything that Moose does, both for this channel and for recruiting in general for Michigan. I mean, he's tapped in now.
Bro, Moose is a super fan.
Yeah.
Moose is a super fan. He lives and dies by Michigan. We know this. A lot of us know this, but for those who don't know, Moose is a super fan. I do want to give a shout out here to Ralph.
Yeah.
We need to get Zavada on here.
Yes.
I may have a way. I may have a way.
Let's go.
I may have a way. I know somebody who knows him. So let me see what I can potentially do.
Yeah. Because if you remember, I think it was the ReliaQuest Bowl that I had Zavada as the thumbnail.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, well, I mean, he's pretty much perfect. The only time I think that there was one block kick the whole year, and otherwise he's money. He's like the most money kicker. So he had to be on the thumbnail because he contributes. He contributed lots of points to Michigan's offense, or to Michigan's special teams, and points on the board. So would love to have Zavada on. That would be awesome. Zavada, yes, Mark. Awesome. All right, so that brings me to just asking everyone to hit the like button and also follow us. So at John Diadamo, at TJ_Ronin. We chat with everybody. When people respond, I always try to make sure I reply to everybody that I can. I don't always get to everybody, but I try to, respond when we can. And I know TJ, you do too. And so we're really trying to build this community. And my God, has it just taken off to the point where it's the top, in my opinion, the number one Michigan community that exists.
Well, okay.
On YouTube.
On YouTube, yes. Okay, so I want to, we will clarify, and we have our respects to obviously the On3 community and the 247 community, and even the Rivals community.
Of course,
they are their own things. But in terms of YouTube Michigan communities, yeah, I would say we are number one. I'm quite confident with that one. Now, it doesn't mean there's not good YouTube shows. Isaiah Hole, fans of him. Michigan podcast, some people love Steve Dace. He does his thing, right? And then obviously Sam Webb's GOAT, probably the GOAT of the game. I know some people who don't like Sam Webb. And then obviously On3 and them, they're doing their thing too. Chris Ballas, EJ, and all them. So, but in terms of community, yeah, I think I'm quite confident in saying we have the number one Michigan community. And it's thanks to you guys, because we are as much of this community as you are. And that's I've said this before. We've said this before, and people might be like, all right, we heard this, but it's exceeded our expectations, as John has said. And listen, we're just along for the ride now. Like we can try and build it, and we are doing things to build it, but the reality is it's its own thing. It is now its own thing. It's kind of like it's like the scientist who builds a monster and then it's beyond your control now. Like it's its own. I mean, sure, we could stop doing shows, I guess, which would kill it, but outside of that, it is definitely its own thing now. So we're excited to see where it goes this season.
For sure. Yeah, Ralph, I'm surprised John's allowed to hang out with his buddies since his announcement. Courtney's probably watching this and maybe in chat right now. So yeah, she's a supporter of the show. So you see her from time to time. But thank you for mentioning that, and it's definitely one of the happiest times in my life for sure. And yeah,
I was gonna mention this comment. I mean, if you guys say something first, John, go for it. But no, this one, we should have Isaiah Hole on.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'll say this: if you guys want Isaiah Hole on, let Isaiah Hole know you want him on our show, and then let's see if we can make it happen. Because we'd love to have Isaiah Hole on. I think he does an excellent job on Locked On Wolverines.
Yeah, Isaiah Hole's a friend of Voice of College Football, and obviously, he's been on Mark Rogers and he's been on this show before. But sometimes people are busy. They're running around. They're doing their thing, and we try to get who we can when we can. but also keep that in mind. So yeah, if you go back to past, probably like a couple of months ago was the last Mark Rogers Isaiah Hole video clip. But we'd love to have him on here too, for sure.
Yeah, I'd like to get McHale on here too. I think she'd be fun.
Yeah, McHale. Yeah, when
she knows ball, bro.
Yeah,
like she knows her ball. Like she knows football, man. So she'd be cool. We'll see though. I don't know. I think she's busy. She seems to be a busy girl. So we'll see. Maybe one day.
Yeah, maybe when the hammer quote unquote drops, we can get the legal analysis from.
I know, well, dude.
From
She's fucking a smart girl, man. Like she's actually a really smart girl. So
absolutely, no question about that. All right, folks, that does it today. Yeah, Michigander also mentioned. So yeah, the call-in show is the one that goes the extra hours. Although I do try to but we have our topics, we have our super chats. But
we went an hour 42. It was a pretty long show.
An hour. Yeah, we that's a pretty
typically an hour, or hour and a half for us, but
yeah, we usually do an hour to an hour, maybe an hour and a half. So yeah, we've gone a little long, and we gave you. I mean, geez, McHale Blade came by. Like it was a good, this is a pretty solid show, y'all. But TJ's show Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. If you contribute $100, then you'll get the second hour, the third hour, etc. That's that show. So definitely check that out Thursday.
It appears Ralph is a watcher of the Voice of College Football. So Minnie, Minnie, who is now going to be hosting College Football After Dark on the main channel.
Yeah.
She's an attractive girl. And then Leanne, who does the Ole Miss channel and our recruiting for the network. She's a former Miss Kentucky. So some more. Yeah, and there's some others too. We'll keep respectful, obviously, but yeah, we have some pretty good looking girls in the network, and stay tuned. Stay tuned on that. Might be adding some more.
All right, I'm gonna leave that right where it is, but I will say this: Leanne's recruiting insight is awesome. Bro. For sure.
Yeah, when it comes to Southern,
I'm excited to see what Minnie does with College Football After Dark.
Yeah, me too. But when it comes to SEC territory, she's very tapped into that area.
Thank you for that, Moose. Means a lot. And thank you for everything you do. Kinetic. Yeah, she's definitely watching, but that's not, but yeah, no, hopefully she'll say go blue in the chat on our way out. But that's going to do it for tonight. And I want to thank everybody who stopped by, who followed McHale Blade on X and IG, who hit the like button, who super chatted, whatever you did. That's incredible. And thank you so much. We really do appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to play out with a message from Mark Rogers, voice of college football, and go blue, and we'll see you next time.
You can make a difference here at the Voice of College Football. Use the Amazon link. Financially contribute to the Voice of College Football without spending a penny. Same shopping experience. It's easy. Go to any video on any channel. Go to the description section and grab the link right next to the capital letters that say Amazon. Use that link, and Amazon will instantaneously convert to your account, settings, history, everything intact, just like whatever link you use right now. No difference. Pay no attention to the product that you see right there. Just go search what you want. Don't forget the Amazon link. Thank you for your support. Sincerely, the Voice of College Football.